Salesforce Integration Architect exam practice questions with explanations are available in the video for you to study. You are designing a secure integration between Salesforce and an external system that communicates over HTTPS. Salesforce users must read data from the external system. Which two features should you recommend to secure this integration? Choose two answers. A connected app. B named credentials. C authorization provider. D two-way SSL. The answer is BD. Named credentials simplify callouts by storing authentication settings and endpoint URLs securely. They can include an authentication protocol, e.g., OAuth, Basic Auth. Two-way SSL, Mutual TLS, provides strong transport-level security by requiring both the client, Salesforce, and server to present valid certificates. Northern Trail Outfitters, NTO, wants its sales team to access and update real-time order data from a remote system within Salesforce. The order data must not be stored in Salesforce. Based on this business need, which integration pattern should an architect recommend? A. Data visualization. B. Data synchronization. C. Process orchestration. D. Batch processing. The answer is A. Data visualization enables Salesforce to display real-time data from external systems using tools like Salesforce Connect without persisting the data in Salesforce. Data synchronization would copy data into Salesforce, which violates the requirement. Process orchestration involves coordinating across systems to execute workflows but isn't focused solely on viewing, updating. Batch processing handles data in scheduled bulk jobs, not suitable for real-time or interactive scenarios. An integration architect is evaluating the use of platform events for real-time event-driven integration between Salesforce and external systems. Which three considerations should be kept in mind when recommending platform events? Choose three answers. A. Platform events cannot be queried using SOQL. B. You can subscribe to an asset token event stream for OAuth 2.0 authentication monitoring. C. Lightning record pages cannot be created for platform events. D. Deleting a platform event definition is permanent and cannot be undone. E. Event monitoring can be used to track platform event publishing activity. The answer is ACD. A. Platform events are not stored in a way that makes them queryable via SOQL. Instead, they're streamed and retained temporarily. C. You cannot use standard Lightning record pages for platform events because they are not standard or custom objects. D. Once you delete a platform event, the definition is permanently removed. Universal Containers has a requirement for all accounts that do not qualify for a business extension, custom field on the account record, for the next month to send a meeting invite to their contacts from the marketing automation system to discuss the next steps. It is estimated there will be approximately 1 million contacts per month. What is the recommended solution? A. Use Batch Apex. B. Use time-based workflow rule. C. Use Process Builder. D. Use Trigger. The answer is A. Batch Apex is designed for processing large data volumes, like 1 million contacts, asynchronously and efficiently in chunks, which fits the requirement well. Time-based workflow and process builder are not recommended for high-volume automation due to governor limits and lack of flexibility. Trigger would run synchronously and could easily hit governor limits with large datasets. Northern Trail Outfitters uses a legacy system to assign territories to leads after daily imports into Salesforce. The current integration experiences frequent latency issues. As an integration architect, which 2 recommendations would you make to improve the performance of this integration? Choose 2 answers. A. Reduce the batch size for asynchronous bulk API requests. B. Reduce the batch size for synchronous bulk API requests. C. Use serial mode when submitting data from the legacy system. D. Use parallel mode when submitting data from the legacy system. The answer is A. A. Reducing batch size can help reduce processing time per batch and avoid timeouts or memory issues during large volume data loads using asynchronous bulk API. D. Parallel mode in the bulk API allows multiple batches to be processed simultaneously, improving throughput and minimizing overall latency. Northern Trail Outfitters needs to securely integrate Salesforce with an external Microsoft Azure API gateway. What is the most appropriate security mechanism to ensure secure communication between the 2 systems? A. Configure mutual server authentication with two-way SSL using CA-issued certificates. B. Configure a connected app with the API gateway's authorization endpoint and set up OAuth settings. C. Use an API-only user profile and external identity provider for federated API access. D. Implement Salesforce Shield with encryption at rest and generate a tenant secret. The answer is B. OAuth 2.0 via connected app is the industry standard method to secure API communications between Salesforce and platforms like Azure. Azure API Gateway supports OAuth flows, and Salesforce supports integrating with such identity providers via a connected app. A Salesforce customer is launching Salesforce for their sales and service teams. Senior management requires that system performance be monitored, and operations must be alerted if performance degrades. What approach should an integration architect recommend to enable proactive monitoring? A. Use Salesforce Limits API to track API usage and set up monitoring alerts. B. Use API EVENT to monitor all user-initiated API calls through SOAP, REST, or bulk. C. Define key business processes and implement automation to monitor performance against benchmarks. D. Request Salesforce support to monitor the instance and send performance alerts. The answer is C. The best approach is to define critical business processes, e.g., lead creation, case resolution, and implement synthetic or real user monitoring, comparing performance to expected SLAs or benchmarks. This ensures operations can be alerted on business-impacting issues, not just technical ones. Northern Trail Outfitters needs to make synchronous callouts available to promise services to query product availability and reserve inventory during customer checkout process. Which 2 considerations should an integration architect make when building a scalable integration solution? Choose 2 answers. A. The typical and worst-case historical response times. B. The number batch jobs that can run concurrently. C. How many concurrent service calls are being placed? D. The maximum query cursors open per user on the service. The answer is AC. A. Knowing typical versus worst-case response times helps ensure the integration meets customer expectations and doesn't cause timeouts or delays. C. Concurrency limits on the external system and within Salesforce must be considered to avoid bottlenecks and rejected requests. Northern Trail Outfitters is developing a native, employee-facing mobile app that should reflect the Lightning Experience UI and integrate with Salesforce. Which Salesforce API is best suited to support this integration while preserving the look and behavior of the Lightning Experience? A. Streaming API. B. REST API. C. Connect REST API. D. User Interface API. The answer is D. User Interface API is designed to replicate the Lightning experience, allowing developers to build custom applications, like native mobile apps, that preserve Lightning page layouts, record editing behavior, and UI logic. An integration developer is building an app that synchronizes Salesforce record changes with an external HR system. To ensure that notifications about data changes are retained for up to 3 days in case replication fails, which Salesforce feature should the integration architect recommend? A. Change data capture. B. Generic events. C. Platform events. D. Callouts. The answer is C. Platform events support event retention for up to 72 hours, 3 days, allowing the external system to replay events if processing fails, ensuring reliable synchronization. Change data capture, CDC, delivers near real-time change notifications, but events are only retained for 24 hours, which is shorter than the requirement. Generic events is not a Salesforce standard feature. Callouts are immediate and synchronous, not designed for event storage or replay.